Hello, I'm Peter Towers. Welcome to this video today where we're going to talk about COVID-19 survival plans for small businesses and medium-sized enterprises. The last month has certainly seen a lot of changes in Australia, hasn't it? We have people working at home. We have the government handing out $300 billion worth of packages targeted at businesses. A substantial amount of that has been targeted at small businesses and medium-sized enterprises. There's thousands of businesses that have closed down or are working from home. There's people, unfortunately, who are unemployed. There's business owners who are very worried about what the future of your business is. What I want to talk to you today about is the opportunity for the development of a COVID-19 survival plan, because I honestly believe that this is the right tact for you to be taking at this stage to try to ensure that your business will survive this very troublesome period. So in the first instance, you will need to have an understanding of the various government grants and initiatives that have been made available via the stimulus packages. We've now had 3 of those, and they all had some benefits for small businesses and medium-sized enterprises with turnovers up to $50 million per annum. The first package that has been offered is the Boosting Cash Flow, which will give to eligible businesses up to 100% payback of the employees' PAYG tax deductions that you've made up to a maximum amount of $50,000. You don't have to register for this. This is based on your business activity statement for the period in March, so it might be 3 months. January, February, March, that you have to lodge with the Australian Taxation Office by 28 April. And the tax office will then be calculating the amount of the subsidy payment that the tax office will then introduce into your calculation of the amount of money owed when you take into account the GST and the PAYG tax deduction and deduct the credit that you are entitled to. This will be a great help, and this was the first major initiative from the government. The second was the introduction of the apprenticeship subsidy if you are employing apprentices or trainees and you have less than 20 full-time employees, then you can apply for the subsidy, which is calculated at 50% of the employee's wages for a 9-month period, January to September 2020, up to a maximum payment by the government of $21,000. You need to register. The registrations are now open, and you have to have completed your final claim for the payments from the government by the 31st of December this year. So if you've got apprentices or trainees, this is a great initiative from the government to assist you. The next major activity that the government has introduced is the job seeker payment. Now this is part of stimulus package number 3, so it hasn't been passed by Parliament yet, and Parliament is meeting in a couple of days' time in Canberra to consider the legislation that the government is submitting to be passed. The government's intention is that the job seeker payment will run from the 30th of March and it will be paid a month in arrears. So the first payments will be made in the first week of May. The amount to be paid is $1,500 per fortnight per eligible employee, subject to the business having had a turnover decrease of 30% when comparing this year to last year. So it's, if you're lodging your business activity statements on a monthly basis, you're comparing March 2020 with March 2019. And if you're lodging your business activity statements on a quarterly basis, you are comparing January, February, March 2020 with the same months in 2019. The government has made a change to the proposed legislation to enable the Commissioner of Taxation to entertain alternative proposals from taxpayers as to how that calculation should be made. If your business suffered some sort of problem in 2019, it could have been a flood, which happened in a number of areas in North Queensland and Northwest Queensland, or it could have been a startup of a new business. No matter what the reasons are, you can submit a submission to the Commissioner of Taxation. Now, in all of this process, you are probably going to need assistance up to this stage from your accountant. And I really believe as we move forward into the COVID-19 survival plan, you are definitely going to need the input of your accountant to develop a strategy, a definite strategy for at least this next 6 months, and then the following 6 months, as hopefully you're able to return your business to full production, to full flight, to full activity. So what needs to be done in the COVID-19 survival plan? First of all, let's sort out what government initiatives you might be entitled to. And incidentally, if you're still entitled to some grants or loans from the federal government under the disaster packages that were released for drought, bushfires, floods and cyclones, don't forget them. They still exist. So whilst we're calling the survival plan COVID-19, it also covers those natural disasters that really caused a lot of problems to Australia in 2019 and the first 2 months of 2020. For your COVID-19 survival plan, our recommendation is you first of all look at what your sales are likely to be, looking at them from today's point of view, week by week for the next 26 weeks, or preferably 52 weeks. Let's blow it out so you can see what's going to happen. And then start looking at where you might be able to get some cash in quicker, your debtors payments that are outstanding, your investment in stock, could some of it be realized into cash? Have you got any spare assets that could be sold so you can introduce that cash into the business? Because whilst these supermarkets are saying they're not very fussed with receiving cash anymore, they want everyone to pay by credit card, cash is king in a business sense, the equivalent of cash in the bank account of your business. So I would urge you to talk to your accountants, and if your accountant is flat out doing tax returns and just hasn't got time, you can send me an email and I will talk to you and see if I can introduce some accountants around Australia who could assist you with this very important process of developing your COVID-19 survival plan. We have a complimentary webinar that we are presenting this Wednesday, the 9th of April at 11:30 a.m. AEST, whereby we're going to look at the whole impact of the COVID-19 coronavirus and the natural disasters on businesses and how you plan your way out of it. Because you need a plan. You need to know where you're going. So to register for this webinar, you can go to www.ess smallbusiness.com.au, webinar registration, and put your details in, and You will then be able to get access on Wednesday morning from about 11:25 a.m. Or you could go to www.towersbusiness.com.au and register from that website. Go on to the webinar registration so that you can book your place in our special webinar. I look forward to talking to you on Wednesday. If in the meantime you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. Incidentally, if you're not able to attend on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m., but you would like to receive a link to the video recording that we will be making, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, and my team will make sure that you receive a email giving you the link to our video recording. Good luck in these very difficult times that we are all going through at present. I look forward to being able to talk to you again in the near future. Have a great day. Goodbye.